Hey everybody, welcome to the stream. How's it going? How are we doing tonight? Welcome to the weekend. Welcome to the weekend. Ladies and gentlemen, the weekend. There used to be this Twitter account that just every Friday or every Saturday, it would just post a clip of Daniel Craig going, "Ladies and gentlemen, the weekend." And then it would pan over to, the weekend, because he's on Saturday Night Live saying this. Um, but he said I can't replicate it. He says it in like this like he sounds disappointed when he says it, and it's very funny. Anyway, the weekend. Welcome to the stream. Today I'm just gonna probably talk to you guys about manga for over an hour. That's probably what I'm gonna do. Yeah, it's gonna be another Shonen Jump manga preview stream. So Shonen Jump. Shonen Jump is this manga magazine that publishes a lot of the best and most popular, chiefly the most popular manga out there, right? Um One Piece, Naruto, um My Hero Academia, Hunter x Hunter, Haikyuu, Chainsaw Man, all, yeah, Shonen Jump are the big boys, and so I read a lot of Shonen Jump series. I keep tabs on Shonen Jump every week, basically, and I find it of great interest. Whenever new series get introduced to Shonen Jump, because Shonen Jump, uh, a lot of people know what comes from Shonen Jump. Something less people might know is that Shonen Jump has such like a pedigree, because they're so harsh with what stays in the magazine and what doesn't. Usually, usually they'll put out new series in batches, and then they will cancel. They will conclude just as many series, and sometimes those series will have been in the magazine for like, you know maybe a quarter of a year, right? So it's always fascinating to keep track of what Shonen Jump's doing, and what new series they're showing, and to think about like what could be their next big hits, and what they're just going to get rid of like right away. So this is actually a really interesting. This is going to be the spring 2024 Shonen Jump preview, and this one's really interesting because Shonen Jump is already making kind of a big deal out of this. Like sometimes they just kind of quietly put out new series in the magazine, whatever. They usually get like dedicated covers and stuff, but this one they're treating like more of an event. They this batch has gotten a trailer, which is crazy. We'll go more into that. We'll go into the why of that soon. Um, the weekend, start of the hit series The Idol. I don't get that joke. I feel like you said something funny. The Idol. Oh, oh. The weekend did music for a drama show called The Idol, starring Lily Rose Depp and other people. Well, all right. Interesting. I learned something today. Okay. All right. So, uh, before before we talk about what's getting added, we got to talk about what's getting removed. Because Shonen Jump always runs about 20 series at a time, sometimes a little more, sometimes a little less. Um, so uh, so there's going to be three new series in this batch. Um, there'll be three new series, which means they are probably removing about three series from the magazine. Um, Two of them are confirmed, and we'll go into what I think will get removed besides that, if anything. And some of these things that are getting removed are a series that I cover during the fall 2023 manga preview, I think. Um, so the first series to get removed, you know what isn't getting removed? Kagurabachi Sweep. Kagurabachi is fine. Yeah. Kagurabachi is staying in the magazine for sure. It definitely survived this batch. It's actually like it's crazy, right? The memes in America ended up being like used as marketing for the series in Japan. Like like basically like Shueisha in Japan was basically like, "Hey, look at Kagurabachi, first volume is coming out. The series that's a big hit in America." And it's been selling copies. They keep selling out of printings and having to reprint it in Japan, which is crazy. Like the printings aren't very big because I think Shonen Jump's kind of wary of just how popular this series is, both in Japan and overseas. Um, but yeah, it actually legit did survive this batch. Um, it's in the middle of an arc right now. It seems very comfortable in the magazine, and it's great actually. I'm having like it's just a really solid, well executed like shonen manga series, and I'm digging it. I'm having a good time with it. That Kagurabachi is one of the series I'm genuinely looking forward to reading every week right now. Here's what did get cut. From the same batch as Kagurabachi. Uh, and that's Mama Yu Yu. Uh, yeah, this was the I think all I knew about this series when I talked about it in during the preview, right, was that it was basically this fantasy manga um set in this world of heroes and demon lords, except this was a world where the heroes and demon lords live in peace, right? The guy up top is the protagonist, the guy who is a hero living in a time of peace and not actually getting to do anything heroic, and the person on the bottom is his adoptive mother, the demon lord of that setting. But what happened really early in the manga was um heroes and demon lords from alternate dimensions started spilling into the dimension of these two characters. Um, this character becomes really irrelevant really soon. She has barely any screen time, and she's not even part of like the main party after like the first five chapters. Um, they replace her with a bunch of other girls. It like it's one of those series that didn't really figure out what it wanted to be. Like it was trying like action, it was trying like harem romance, um, it was trying drama, and it had a lot of cool ideas. It tried a lot of cool, fun ideas. Um, but yeah, it ended last week on a cliffhanger that's going to get resolved in the final volume of the series. You'll have to buy the last book. You'll have to buy the last volume in order to find out how the story ends. The author actually apologized for that in their last author comment in the magazine. Um, but yeah, Mama Yu Yu was fine. Like it had some cool ideas. It had some great character designs. Had some cool characters. But ultimately, like it was. Um, I think it didn't really find its footing. You know, it didn't like. It had a great concept, like a fucking like hero and demon lord like multiverse. Like there, that is an excellent concept, and I wish they had gone more in on that idea because yeah, that the execution of that concept fell a little flat, but I think there were a lot of great ideas, a lot of great concepts, some really cool art. This is one of those series where I'm not really sad to see the series itself gone, but I am looking forward to seeing what the author does next. You know, I'm looking forward to seeing what lessons the author learns from this, and how they use those lessons in their next series, which we'll probably see in like, you know, anywhere from another 1 to 3 years from now. It'll be a while, but yeah. Yeah, like yeah. Like it started like kind of like I don't really know where you're going with this, and then there was a part in the early middle where it's like, "Oh, where you're going with this is really cool." And then the late middle was like, "Oh, you've lost the plot and you're just really desperately inserting fan service whenever you can because you can tell you're about to get removed from the magazine and you're trying to get hits as in any way you can." And then it didn't work and the series got canceled. But yeah, I think Mama Yu is cool, but I'm not really sad to see it gone. I'd probably give it, I don't know, like a 6 out of 10, 6 or a 7 out of 10. Probably a six, probably a six, just based on how it ended, really. Yeah. Um, the next series confirmed to be ending is a Two on Ice, and instead of finding a new image, I'm just gonna use this image I still have from when I talked about it when it was first announced. And Two on Ice is basically this, you know, this sports manga with kind of some romance in it about these two middle schoolers, high schoolers. I think they're middle schoolers. Yeah. Um, that decided to become a pair and do pair ice skating together. Um, the girl was an ice skating prodigy when she was like 6, and the boy was her biggest fan. He discovered her when they were both that age, and it made him want to be an ice skater too. But then she disappeared from the ice skating world, and he bumped into her by coincidence, and like when they're both teenagers. And you know, she's like, "Well, I'm not doing single ice skating anymore. I'm doing pairs. If you want to see me skate so bad, why don't you become my pair partner?" And you know, yeah, things kind of go from there. Um, Two and Ice had a lot of ups and downs. It's the highs of Two on Ice are actually like there's some phenomenal chapters of Two on Ice. There's this chapter I love that like I think uh hits like a perfect balance of like ice skating stuff but also romance but also humor and comedy and like relatable dialogue. There's this chapter where you know they're pairing up, they're doing pair stuff. Um but you know, initially at the beginning of the story, the boy has like tunnel vision. He only kind of sees the girl as this amazing skater, and he pairs up with her and doesn't have uh Like he's basically just really focused on them skating together. But over the course of the series, he starts getting a little crush on her. So then when they're skating together and getting really close, like he's getting nervous and like fucking up the routine, right? Because her face is getting so close to him, he's having to hold her and stuff. And she's getting upset at him for that because she thought, it's like, oh, you're all the boys my age are like this. They keep getting nervous when I get close to them. Um, so they go meet a college pair, like a pair of ice skaters that are in college, and their ex boyfriend and ex girlfriend, and and basically they kind of teach the two how to be um comfortable with each other while skating in pairs and like removing any romantic tension that they have with each other from the job from the skating. And like the two exes are hilarious. They're really great characters. um and just like god, the dialogue was really on point in that chapter. like like the series overall, fine, the series overall was fine, but I think about that specific chapter a lot, and like how there was really something there. Like that really kind of showed the potential of the series, I think. And like uh and this kind of combination of like sports and romance. The problem with Two on Ice is a problem I anticipated from the beginning, which is that there is already a sports romance manga in Shonen Jump. It's Blue Box. Like Blue Box already covers the sports romance like the sports romance combo niche. Like like people reading that magazine don't need more than one of those, right? It's not like Battle Shonen where you can have 10 of those in the magazine and that's why people are there. Like Blue Box is doing so well in Shonen Jump because as a sports romance that's surrounded by all this battle shonen, it's a novelty. Like it's a palate cleanser. It's an interesting change of pace when you're reading the entire magazine. You don't need two of those. The magazine didn't need two of those, and I so yeah, I kind of figured that this wouldn't last very long, and I was right, and I'm a little sad about that, honestly. It's funny, like I don't know if this is a better series than Mama Yu Yu was, but my gut is to give it a slightly higher rating, like a 7. But maybe it's also a 6. Maybe it's a 6 out of 10 like Mama Yu Yu, but like there are some 9 out of 10 moments in Two on Ice. I do really like the dynamic between these two middle school kids. And the last chapter is coming out tomorrow. The last chapter is coming out tomorrow, so I get to see how it ends. Um, and and yeah, we'll see how that goes. I'm looking forward to that. Um, so there should be one other series that's going to end, and we don't know for sure what it is, but I have a guess. Um, I have two guesses. One I think is more likely than the other, and the one that's more likely is the one that I hope doesn't stay. I have a feeling. I'm gonna have to add some images on the fly. Yeah, I have a feeling that Shadow Eliminators is uh is leaving the magazine next week. Shadow Eliminators is an exorcism battle manga. um, Shadow Eliminators is an exorcism battle manga, and it's one of the most generic ones I've read in a really long time. Um, like yeah, uh, there's there are spirits made of negative energy that like possess you when you get really upset. Uh, and like and overpower people and drive them to murder and stuff, right? Um This boy has harnessed his negative energy and like uses it as a persona, basically uses it as a JoJo stand, um to stop negative energy from flowing from other people. um and the most unique thing about it is that he teams up with a guy that is initially normal, like this just dorky student council president with glasses, um who's big on like justice and stuff. Like initially, you see the story from the student council president's perspective, and that was kind of interesting. But then they kind of stopped doing that, and it's a very generic battle shonen manga, that just like gets messier and messier and less structurally satisfying as it goes. It's like, yeah, I hope that it ends next week so it can make room for better series. Yeah, it's like a 3 or 4 out of 10. Like some of the art's nice, some of the character designs are cool, but it's just like the name combined with the cover make it seem like a parody of a demon battle manga. It's, yeah, it's so like it's just so cookie cutter, like, yeah, I feel like AI could have generated these characters in this plot. It's, yeah, it's very underwhelming. It's a very underwhelming series. There's a couple things that I do like about it, but yeah, it has sold like garbage, I think. Either has no, I don't I think I'm just anticipating that it's going to sell like garbage. I don't think the first volume's even out yet. Um but it does not seem to have gained any popularity at all in Japan. It never got any color pages after the initial ones, and basically like in Shonen Jump magazine, like uh like popular series and series that they're promoting will occasionally get color pages, right? Like usually each issue has like 3 or 4 color pages, um and so like maybe one week, like, uh you'll have My Hero Academia on the cover, and My Hero Academia will get a color spread. And then a little later in the magazine, Akane Banashi will get a color page. And then a little later in the magazine, Jujutsu Kaisen will get a color page. And then near the end of the magazine, Sakamoto Days will get a color page, right? Um, and new series, like if they're doing well, they'll get color pages every now and then. Shadow Eliminators never got one after the color spread that it got when it debuted, which every series gets when it debuts, and the color page it got the chapter after that, and every series gets a color page after the first chapter. So basically, yeah, I will be kind of astonished if this doesn't get removed. I think its removal is inevitable. Um, I guess there's a chance that it could like hang on till the following batch and then get canceled. But honestly, I feel like the series should really just be taken out of its misery. The series that There's another series that I think could end instead of Shadow Eliminators. It debuted at about the same time, but I'm hoping that it doesn't because I think it's much better than Shadow Eliminators. But there doesn't seem to be much of an indicator that it's like doing well or that it's popular. That is Green Green Greens. It's a golf manga, and you know what? It's actually great. um, Green Green Greens is the new series from the creator of Beast Children, which was a canceled rugby manga from 2019. Um, Beast Children was not very well liked. I thought it was kind of cool, and I liked the art, but Japan did not agree, and it got canceled after like 20 something chapters. Kento Terasaka, the creator of Beast Children, came back with Green Green Greens right at the end of publication year 2023. And yeah, it's a series about kind of this pessimistic, um, you know, uh, high school guy who just kind of focuses on the successes of others and doesn't really try to make anything of himself. Um, and then starts getting into golf uh when a girl that is skilled at golf basically verbally bullies him for being such a sad sack about his life. um he kind of stumbles into like the driving range that she works at and starts like getting really invested in golf and starts having golf like consume his life. And yeah, the characters are really compelling. um the golf art is good, and I'm actually really liking it. I think it's really solid, and I really hope that it gets like time to like get a fan base and really blow up. But right now it's hanging out at the bottom of the table of contents. Um uh and it doesn't seem to be getting a lot of attention. The first volume hasn't come out yet, and we have no idea how that'll sell. Um I really have my fingers crossed that Shonen Jump's going to give it a chance to sell before they decide what to do with it. But yeah, I think there's a non-zero chance that either A, Green Green Greens gets canceled before Shadow Eliminators does, or B, they just cancel Shadow Eliminators and Green Green Greens this batch, and the magazine will just run with one series less than usual for a bit. Um, yeah, those are things that I do not want to happen, but I think they're possible. Because the thing is that sports manga has not been doing well in Shonen Jump for a while. Haikyuu was like the last sports series in Shonen Jump that like really had was really popular. And Blue Box, after like years and years of like failed sports manga debuts, like Blue Box actually seems to have a following, but it also barely qualifies as a sports manga. Blue Box is like 70% romance, 30% sports. So Green Green Greens, which is a much more traditionally a sports manga, I hope gets to stick around, but we'll see. We'll see. And yeah, that's the old stuff. That's the stuff that's already in the magazine, some stuff that has already left the magazine, some stuff that might be leaving. But now we have three series that are debuting over the next few weeks. One of them is debuting tomorrow, and like I said, Shonen Jump has turned this into an event. Shonen Jump is making a big deal out of out of this uh out of this set of debuts, and the reason why is the first series that's debuting. Because they managed to get like a big name. Um So the series debuting tomorrow is called Astro Royale. Um, what anime fans in the chat, does this art style look familiar at all? If so, I'll tell you why. It's the Tokyo Revengers guy. They Shonen Jump has gotten the Tokyo Revengers guy to make a new series for Shonen Jump. One of the reasons this is a big deal is that Ken Wakui, the creator of Tokyo Revengers, is not typically he hasn't this is the first series that he's ever made for Shonen Jump. This is the first series he's ever made for this company. Tokyo Revengers and every other series he's made has been for a completely different manga company, completely different magazine. He did Tokyo Revengers for Kodansha. Um, and Kodansha, they're like the Attack on Titan guys. Kodansha does Attack on Titan, I think Fairy Tail, lots of shit that I'm blanking on right now. Um, but basically, like Shonen Jump has kind of poached this guy and gotten him to make a new series for them, and it's another delinquent series. For those of you that don't really know what Tokyo Revengers deal is, Tokyo Revengers is kind of this delinquent time travel manga where where as an adult this guy's ex-girlfriend from his middle school days is killed, and his consciousness is thrown back in time to try to save her, and he has to like join a delinquent gang in order to do that basically. um this is also a delinquent manga, but uh it's like delinquents with superpowers. um Basically, we know some basics of the story for Astro Royale, which is kind of rare actually. Usually they give very little details right before the series comes out. But basically, this is a supernatural action manga. It's set during the succession war of a Yakuza clan, and it focuses on a boy who aims to become the strongest Yakuza, and his friend who he wants to see as the next group. He wants to see as the next group leader. That blonde boy to the left, I'm guessing, is the character that the guy in the middle wants to see as the next group leader. Um, and he apparently makes a wish upon a falling meteor. Um, and that's basically all the details we have right now. Um, Besides like just some of these character designs just chilling in the back. See if I can make this any bigger. Like just some of these characters, very Tokyo Revengers. Very I feel like that guy pushing up his glasses with his palm in the upper right is going to be my guy. Um, but yeah, they're making a big deal out of it. They're making a big deal out of Astro Royale is what it's called in the US. We have the translated name Astro Royale. It's called like Astro no Nagai in Japan or something like that. So how do I think this is gonna go? Really, it's gonna go one of two ways. It can only really go one of two ways. The way it's not gonna go is that it runs for years as a modest success, right? Uh, it's either going to be a big hit. It's either going to be like a big hit and like one of the new faces of Shonen Jump, or it's going to like sell decently, but not decently enough for Shonen Jump to feel that buying the Tokyo Revengers guy was worth it. Like basically like it'll do numbers, but it won't do Tokyo Revengers numbers, and Shonen Jump will just like end the series prematurely, like within a year or two, basically, um, because they'll be disappointed at the series performance. It'll be like a Samurai 8 scenario, basically. Um, Samurai 8 being the series by the Naruto guy that was made after Naruto that performed laughably. They performed laughably bad compared to how Naruto did, and has kind of a notorious like failure story basically. Cause yeah, cause yeah, I've been noticing kind of patterns, right, with the way that Shonen Jump treats series from creators that used to run successes in the magazine. Um, right, like Tenmaku Cinema. Remember Tenmaku Cinema? Tenmaku Cinema. This this film aficionado boy gets possessed by a screenwriter manga that I actually liked a lot. I like that series a lot. It was by the creators of Food Wars. Food Wars, which ran for years, was a big hit. Denmaku Cinema did not do that well, and even though it was made with this pedigree, it got canceled immediately. Like it lasted like 21 chapters or something. Um, fucking I don't have an image to pull up right away, but Martial Master Asumi from the creator of Hinamaru Sumo um ended not too long ago. Uh Even though Hinamaru Sumo was a success because Martial Master Asumi sold kind of piddlingly, sold kind of disappointingly. You can't wait for Astro Royale to end after 30 chapters. Yeah, right? I think I think Astro Royale is either going to be a 150 chapter manga or a 30 chapter manga. Like that's one of the two outcomes. I do see a scenario where it runs for like almost a year or like a little over a year, but then kind of concludes. Um but I think that I think that it'll be fun though. I think it'll actually be fun. I think it'll be one of those series that I kind of end up enjoying on its own merits, but that the manga community will spend too much time comparing to Tokyo Revengers and being like, it's not as good as Tokyo Revengers because X, it's not as good as Tokyo Revengers because Y. And I think that it probably won't have a very long life as a result. Also, just based on Tokyo Revengers, I am preemptively very worried about how this girl's going to be handled in the story. I'm hoping that Ken Wakui is chill about it. I'm hoping he's chill. On the bright side, like Tokyo Revengers was a sign-in story, right? Tokyo Revengers was a series that had adult men as the key audience. This is running in a magazine that has teenage boys as the key audience. So I'm hoping Ken Wakui is chill. But honestly, he might not be. We can't all be Togashi just constantly making bangers. Made one of the best battle manga, and then he's like, "I'll do that again. Why not?" Don't forget about Level E though. Don't forget about in between those two battle manga, he made this weird like alien detective story that no one talks about. Like even Togashi has made series that weren't really bangers. Although Level E does have its fan base. I've never read Level E. Honestly, I feel like due to Togashi's popularity, I feel like Viz Media should have like localized uh Level E by now, but I guess not. It seems like the internet is not doing an amazing job cooperating with me tonight. Um this might not be a very long stream. I might say what I have to say about this manga and then dip. Um Next series. The following after Astro Royale, a new series will debut a week after that. The following Sunday / Monday in Japan. Um it's called Kyokuto Necromance. We don't have the official English name for it. Um but perhaps this art style also looks familiar, but it's less likely to look familiar unless you like me um like to follow canceled Shonen Jump manga. And if you do not, I will enlighten you. It's the return of the author of Aliens Area, which I actually loved. I actually thought Aliens Area was super cool. Aliens Area was like the sci-fi battle manga. Um, about basically a dude that got injected with alien tech when he was young, and it gave him superpowers basically, and he joins like anime Men in Black. This is anime Men in Black. It was really cool. Um, and one thing that was kind of fun was that it started as like a sci-fi battle manga, but then it just kind of turned into like um it just kind of turned into these two characters like navigating space bureaucracy, and that was also really compelling and fascinating. Um but then the series did get axed. It did get canceled. In like 2021, I want to say. No, no, 2022. It got discontinued in like 2022. Um and the creator's back with kind of a supernatural. um what's funny is that all three, like, there's going to be a weird amount of supernatural going on, but yeah, a supernatural battle action. The guy on the left is a teenage boy who encounters a strange woman on the right slash middle who claims to be a friend of his father and introduces him to the world of necromancy. Thanks to a mysterious ring that the boy inherited from his dad, he too can become a necromancer and interact with the spirit world in order to protect the people around him. Um, Honestly, if this is like, I'm getting like, I'm getting like Bleach meets Shaman King vibes, right? Like, obviously that weird little fairy thing on the right is is supposed to be like a spirit that can be summoned through necromancy. If if this series is just filled with characters that can summon like little humanoid undead creatures and like use them to fight for them, yeah, I'm into that. I'm into that. Oh, right. So my interest level in Astro Royale is like a 7 out of 10. I'm intrigued just based off the pedigree. Um Kyokuto Necromance I think has like a lot of potential. I liked Aliens Area a lot. Um and what's crazy? What's crazy is that the the two main characters here, right? The boy and the mysterious woman. Um I don't know if you guys remember that I got this collection of one shots of Japanese one shot manga called Jump Giga last year. And wouldn't you know it, the color spread in this is a one shot from the Aliens Area guy. Um and you tell me, do these character designs look a little familiar? Like basically he liked the character designs from this one shot so much that he just completely recycled them to make an unrelated series like a year later basically. That one shot magazine was published like summer of last year. So so he took those character designs and put them in Kyokuto Romance. Honestly, fair. Those are great character designs. And I'm really interested to see what the Aliens Area person does next. I'd say my interest level in this is like an 8.5 out of 10. Do I think this will do well? I hope so. I hope it will. I think there's a couple things that aren't working in its favor. One is that there's clear like exorcism battle manga vibes. Um, and the last exorcism battle manga to do well in the magazine has been Nue's Exorcist, which is fucking shitty. It's a bad manga, and it like Nue's Exorcist has succeeded because it's really horny. It's become a hero manga, and I think that's why people are sticking around to view it. I couldn't tell you because I did end up dropping Nue's Exorcist. I don't read it anymore. Um, because it just got more and more harem-y, you know. Uh, but before Nue's Exorcist, I think the last exorcism battle manga to like run for, you know, run for like a year or more. It's maybe Jujutsu Kaisen. Jujutsu Kaisen is definitely like one of the last series left in that genre that's been running that long in the magazine. Let me kind of refresh my memory real quick actually. Like what there's very few exorcism manga in the magazine now. Yeah, right? It's Jujutsu Kaisen. It's Nui's Exorcist and it's Shadow Eliminators. This new series called Dear and Enemy also has some exorcism vibes, but it's not quite exorcism. Anyway, yeah, Shueisha has they've definitely been kind of trying to see if supernatural slash exorcism manga is gonna like blow back up. Um, like people start seem to be getting tired of it, like when Demon Slayer was at its peak and they were just stuffing the magazine full of exorcism manga. But but now that they've cleared out all those series, they seem to be trying again to see if there's still a market. Um, and like I've definitely experienced fatigue for exorcism battle manga, but I feel like this guy could do a cool take on it. And honestly, those can be the biggest hits in Shonen Jump. Like unique takes on established genres, right? Uh Unique takes and well executed takes on established genres. Demon Slayer had a story that is nothing special, but it was such a well executed version of that story that it has sold gangbusters. Kind of the kind of the same thing with Jujutsu Kaisen, Exorcism High School, but great execution of that concept. Um, yeah, sometimes it just has to stand out as like a unique idea, you know. Um, Sakamoto Days like took the hitman genre and made it about this chubby retired guy who can still kick ass, like, and that was really intriguing. And Sakamoto Days is incredible. So like, do I think this will do well? It really depends on like whether or not there's unique ideas in here. And I feel like there probably are. Aliens Area had really cool ideas and it just didn't hit for whatever reason. God, it's killing me how bad my internet's been tonight. Looks like I'm dropping about a quarter of the frames. I'm not even doing anything like strenuous on the internet. I'm showing you guys still images. Um, I'm gonna say, based on not even having seen the first chapter yet, based on like nothing, based on almost nothing except for my desire to see the creator of Aliens area succeed. Um, one kind of thing about the Shonen Jump environment that may or may not be a myth is that creators in Shonen Jump basically have three chances, right? They get three strikes. Um, if you if you debut three different series in the magazine and none of them are a hit, you're you're done working for the company. You don't get to make series for that magazine anymore. So this would be the Aliens Area guys. This would be his their second attempt, and yeah, I think it'd be great if their second try just went really well. You know, my gut tells me it might not, but just that's just because like it's just because it's such a rough competitive environment. But I think I'll say that it'll Exorcism slash Demon Battle manga is overpopulated from old stuff to newer titles, so you hope there's something about it that stands out as it seems neat. Yeah, same, exactly. I think I think it's all gonna depend on that weird little pixie thing on the mysterious woman's shoulder and like what she contributes to the world and what other things in the world are like her, right? I think it's all gonna kind of depend on that, like how unique this world's gonna feel. Um Also like there's the hope that they don't like that little pink-haired pixie. There's the hope that they don't draw her weird or don't draw her with certain audiences in mind. That's one of the worries also. But I'm going to trust this artist for now. And yeah, I guess I feel like it's probably not. I think I'm really going to like it. I think that I'm really going to like Kyokuto Necromance, and that I'm just going to keep thinking that this author is awesome. I just have a gut feeling that it will not catch on in Japanese audiences really, which would be a shame. My final answer is that it will be a modest success. It'll run for like a year or two. Yep. Um the last series is the weirdest one of the batch probably. So after Kyokuto Necromance's debut issue, there's going to be a group cover the week after that for Golden Week. Um Then then the magazine will take a 1 week break, and then the week after that, so sometime in May, the final series of this batch is going to debut. I forget if I already said that you hope this isn't Doron Dororon too, but me too. Me too. Oh yeah, that also had kind of like a ghostly partner character. Yeah, I hope it's better than Doron Dororon. Because Doron Dororon was like fine, but not great. So the last debut is called Saikuru Biori. Um, this is another supernatural series. This is a supernatural slice of life manga series. Um, it's a story about a high school girl who suddenly finds herself able to use supernatural abilities. One day she meets a strange transfer student boy who claims to be able to use supernatural skills as well. Um, Now this author, um, God, sorry I keep smacking this. Sorry if that's loud. This is Kobayashi Omosuke. Is the creator of this new series, and this is their first series in Shonen Jump. This is going to be their first try. However, they've done a lot of one shots for Shonen Jump and like related magazines. Um, and and in fact, they were a contestant in the Golden Future Cup last year. Golden Future Cup is kind of this competition, and the winner gets serialized in the magazine. Um, and like they, this fucking cool looking series was a Golden Future Cup contestant last year or the year before. Um, I think last year. I think pretty recently. Um, and like, yeah, isn't that cool? Isn't that a cool fucking looking thing? I love like the art, like this kid on a broom, and then like the upside down city. Like that's cool as hell. Um, he did. Kobayashi did not. Omosuke did not win the Golden Future Cup, but it looks like they're getting a series anyway. Um, with Buckethead Boy, and something about this gives me the vibe that it's gonna have kind of a short run. Um, but it looks cute, you know. Like I hope that it's good. I say my interest level in this is probably like a 7 out of 10, just because I really like the author's art, and I think the premise could be interesting. Um, Slice of life kind of gives me the vibe that it's gonna be like, kind of comedic and kind of like a gag manga, and I think that could gag manga doesn't do very well in Shonen Jump for the most part. Um, so I feel like this is gonna have a short run. I also like there's kind of an energy to the way he draws the high school girl that I'm not a fan of. Um, Uh, I guess I've now kind of expressed concerns for that kind of thing with all three creators, but it's anime, man. Sometimes in anime you'll have concerns for all of the anime. Um, yeah, I just get the vibe. Uh, I get like it kind of reminds me a bit of Protect Me Sugamaru, and I feel like I think this will be better than Protect Me Sugamaru. I think this is something I will like better than Protect Me Sugamaru. Protect Me Sugamaru was this gag manga that was very short lived. Uh, about this high school girl with like a little boy as a bodyguard, and the little boy kept getting her into trouble, right? Like that was the whole conceit of Protect Me Sugamaru, and it wasn't very good. I get the vibe that I will like this more than Protect Me Sugamaru, but I do get kind of overlapping vibes. And those vibes are like no one wanted that. No one liked Protect Me Sugamaru, and I feel like the I feel like the teen Japanese audience won't really be into this. It's just my gut feeling, but yeah. So I think this will probably like get cut first. I think Saikuru Biori will not have a very long lifespan. And then Astro Royale will get to stick around for a couple batches, but then Shonen Jump will be tired that it's not doing better and cancel that too. And then Kyokuto Romance will run surprisingly long, but probably not more than a couple of years. And then I will just pray that Usai Naba's third attempt will be his My Hero Academia level success. Yeah, that's what I think. I think those are the three. Those are the three series that we're getting over the next few weeks. And and I'm sure you'll hear me talk about them either during a summer Shonen Jump preview or another fall Shonen Jump preview, or maybe maybe you won't hear from me about these until my 2024 recap of the whole magazine. I get the vibe that I get the vibe that I will kind of like at least two of these, and I might even like these more than the Japanese demographic for these series will, right? I think I'll like them and they'll get canceled anyway, and then I'll be sad. That's kind of the vibe I'm getting right now. Um, but I do feel also like at least one of them, at least two of them I'll like, at least one of them will be uncomfortably horny, and and uh and I'll be really disappointed about it. Yep, those that's what my gut's telling me right now. Roboco's already holding it down on the comedy front, so you're not sure there's room for two. Actually, really interesting is that uh one of the mangas I haven't covered, right? There's two mangas that I kind of skipped over that debuted earlier this year, right? One of them is called Dear and Enemy. It's not very good. And the other, um like maybe I should just pull it up. And the other is called Super Psychic Policeman Chojo. Um and this is a new gag manga. This is a new gag manga um from a returning author. Um the creator of this did an action comedy series called Seimon the Summoner. Um and honestly, from what I've seen of Seimon the Summoner, this has very similar vibes in a lot of ways. But basically, Super Psychic Policeman Shoujo is about um a a policeman with with like both telekinetic and telepathic capabilities. He can read minds, and he can also he can also move things with his mind. He's a policeman, and he's the worst policeman in his district, and he has like a dead end police post as like a punishment. Um and then this rookie this rookie cop girl um beats up a dude for sexually harassing her and also gets posted at this dead end spot, forced to partner with Jojo. And it's basically about the two of them just just helping citizens with just increasingly absurd problems. Um and and I'm always personally kind of wary whenever Shonen Jump starts a new series with like police police as like the focal characters, right? It always feels a little propaganda-y because um Japan has very different ACAB issues than we do, but they still do have ACAB issues over there. Like the police in Japan are still very much kind of an institution that are there to, you know, uh, that are there to not kind of help the base citizen, but to kind of uh, enforce inconvenient laws, right? Like they're really bad over here, but police are not great over in Japan either. So it's always kind of weird um to see kind of police characters like be up front and center. Um like like Hard Boiled Cop and Dolphin had such an uncomfortable intro that I couldn't get past the first chapter of it. Super Psychic Policeman Shoujo at least uh is pretty goofy. It doesn't really glorify cops that much. In fact, um, like the shittiest policeman on the squad might be like the least corrupt member of the force, right? Like that's kind of where they go with it. Um, and I'm belaboring my point. I haven't gotten to my response to you yet, which is that it's doing pretty well. Like it's been getting multiple color pages. It's like it's at the top of the rankings right now. Um like either it's like it's really early for the series. So one of two things is happening. Either like people are having a really good response to it over in Japan and it's surprisingly popular over there right now, um or Shonen Jump is really pushing it from a marketing perspective, regardless of whether or not people are into it. It's hard to tell before the first volume sales for the series come out, but it's it's getting a lot of promotion right now, and a lot of the time that means that it's doing surprisingly well. So there is room for two on the comedy front. There is room for like two gag manga apparently, but there's probably not room for three, right? Like this is a gag manga. This is a gag manga that's doing surprisingly well alongside me and Roboco. But I don't think another slice of life, probably gag, probably comedic manga is going to survive alongside both of them. You're calling it. There's no way that Bucket Kid is lasting into 2025. Yeah, I agree. I agree. I think especially since JoJo's doing well so now, especially since another gag manga is doing pretty well, I think Bucket Kid's going to be on the chopping board like really fast, regardless of whether or not it's that good. Um, and hopefully that'll just mean that the author has a chance to return sooner rather than later. Um, but yeah, it's funny. I went into Super Psychic Policeman Shoujo not really wanting to like it, and it has its moments. It has its moments. It's kind of funny sometimes. There's a chapter early on, um, where where Chojo enters a Yu-Gi-Oh tournament and all of his opponents are children and his rival is this kid who looks very much like Yugi, named It's My Turn. First name It's, last name My Turn. Um and and yeah, it's kind of funny. It's kind of funny. It's not amazing, but it is kind of funny. But yeah, I don't think that the magazine is the environment right now for Sakiyubi Ori. I think this is going to be a very short series, just based on what its competitors, it's based on what series are going to be its competition in the magazine right now. Yeah, if I were to like if I were to wish upon a star and my wish would grant one of these success, um it'd be Kyokuto Necromance. I would want Kyokuto Necromance to like go the long mile, you know. But yeah, we'll see. Like Astro Royale, like I said, like either it's gonna have kind of like a weirdly short run because it doesn't make Shonen Jump millions of dollars right away, or you're gonna see an Astro Royale anime in like 2027 and it's gonna do gangbusters. Like, yeah, like either we'll forget this exists in 2 years, or it's the next My Hero Academia. I don't know which one this is yet, but it's got to be one of those. I'm I'm leaning I'm leaning towards not going to last very long though, especially because I'm getting the vibe that this guy's going to be one of the only characters with powers. Like I get the vibe that his two friends on his left and right aren't going to get superpowers, and I think they need to get superpowers for this to be cool. Like if they just stay as friends on the sidelines, like commenting on what's happening, um, then that's going to be a supporting cast that your audience isn't going to get very invested in. Um, and like there's a chance they'll just get obsoleted very quickly and replaced with like these edgy looking men that are surrounding him on the rest of this cover. But yeah, something tells me this will not be the hit that Shonen Jump wants it to be. But it's crazy because they are treating this like an event right now. Like they released a trailer that showed like little animatics for all three new series. Like they really uh they really want this to blow up, and I feel like part of that is because they're running low on popular action series right now, right? Like um My Hero Academia is ending sometime this year probably, right? My Hero Academia, one of their blockbuster series, that's going to be over soon. Jujutsu Kaisen is probably ending not too long after that. Maybe it'll still be running into 2025, but probably not past 2025. Like we're in the last arc. We're fighting the final boss in Jujutsu Kaisen right now, and that boss fight is taking way too long, but it will end at some point, right? And then once those end, you've got One Piece, you've got Sakamoto Days, which is like doing great. You got Undead Unluck, which got an anime this year, and the anime did not make the series a bigger hit. Like the anime came and went, and Undead Unluck did not really blow up or get more popular. Um like usually there's a significant sales boost for series when their anime comes out. And like Undead Unluck had a little one initially, and then sales went back to like normal, and normal wasn't great in the first place. Um like Undead Unluck is selling pretty badly for a series with an anime. Um so Undead Unluck probably won't be around for too long either. They're probably going to remove that to make room for something that will do better, that'll be more successful. Um, and then you got New Way's Exorcist, which is inexplicably gaining popularity. Um, Kill Blue is kind of a battle manga. They're pushing battle manga stuff onto it right now. And it seems kind of popular, probably because the author's established. You got Kakurabachi, which is doing pretty well so far, but it's early days, and that could end up not panning out. Um, but like basically, if you just like, yeah, if you just take everything I said and you just narrow it down to the battle manga series that will still be in the magazine next year and that are guaranteed to be kind of like big deals in like the face of the magazine. That's One Piece and Sakamoto Days. Everything else is either an unknown quantity or ending very soon. So like I think this kind of them treating this batch like an event is them wanting very badly uh to have some cool battle manga that fill the vacancy that My Hero Academia and Jujutsu Kaisen are about to leave. Um, they're debuting two battle manga at once. They're debut and they're both like kind of supernatural. It's funny. Um, but yeah, that's the vibe I'm getting. They're sweating a bit because they don't want to be Shonen Jump, the biggest shonen battle manga magazine on the market, and to have like almost no popular battle manga in there, right? They don't want just One Piece to carry the whole magazine. So yeah, it's gonna be really interesting. It's gonna be really interesting to see how this pans out and what happens after that. But yeah, I think I've said my piece. I think I've said my piece on these. And the internet's bad. I feel like I feel like Cactus is like who's been replying to me in chat. I feel like Cactus is like 5 to 10 minutes behind everything I'm saying. Um, so I think this is where I'll call it, just because it feels like the internet doesn't even really want me to keep going tonight. But however, I will be back on Monday. I'll be back with more Kirby. Be back with my Kirby's Dream Land 3 playthrough. Um, and we'll make more progress on that. Maybe we'll get an ending or two. Um, Dream Land 3 Friday. Ludum Dare is running right now. Ludum Dare, Ludum Dare, Ludum Dare. The game jam, the biannual game jam, where a bunch of people make a shitload of games based on a theme over the course of a weekend. That's happening this weekend. So next Friday, I'll be playing games from that game jam. I'll be I'll be playing highlights. I'll be playing games that I'll be playing games that I think are interesting, but also any developers that come in and ask me to play their game, I'll probably say yeah, and I'll play requests. I'll play games that people request me to play. And then uh, Saturday, um, is going to be my birthday stream. My birthday is happening next week. So Saturday will be the day that I celebrate that on stream, and I will celebrate it by playing Ape Escape 2. It's my birthday and I'm playing Ape Escape 2. That's the Saturday stream. So yeah, fun stuff next week. Um yeah, you don't foresee Astro Royale lasting that long, TBH. Not a whole lot about the premise or characters make it seem like it'll be a hit, but who knows? Yeah, it also like it also just seems like the character designs aren't different enough from a lot of Tokyo Avengers character designs, right? There's a lot of overlap. There's a lot of derivative works in Japan, and I think Japan is less harsh on the idea of people recycling ideas than we are in the States. Especially when it's people recycling their own ideas, right? When it's people iterating on their own stories and their own works, that's not necessarily a turnoff to people in Japan. But I do think that they want their stories to be a little different than what they've already experienced. Um, and I feel like maybe Astro Royale won't be different enough. It's hard to imagine Shonen Jump running low on action series. Like, you believe me, but it's hard to imagine. Yeah, they've got action series, right? They have action series, um, but the action series in the magazine that are currently popular, that is a low amount. Um, and they've been trying to fill the magazine with new action series lately, but a lot of them are like, brand new, and we don't know how they're going to do, or they're not doing well and they get cut right away, like Mama Yu Yu. Like, Mama Yu Yu got cut. That was an action series and that's over now. um Shadow Eliminators is probably going to end next week also, and that was an action manga. Yeah, they're really scrambling to like get some battle manga hits back in the magazine. And really, I think they should have tried to do that sooner. I think they should have worked on that sooner, because now, it's going to be really glaringly obvious how few battle action hits they have once My Hero Academia, and especially also Jujutsu Kaisen, are out of there. They really should have worked on this sooner, but yeah. Kagurabachi about to be carrying Shonen Jump. Honestly, I do get kind of a vibe that, like, that if Kagurabachi debuted like 2 years ago, even, it would have gotten cut like one batch later. But I think because Shonen Jump is really hurting for battle manga right now, they're really hurting for action manga right now, and Kagurabachi is experiencing some popularity. That's enough for it to like last for a little while, Like, it is like, um this is releasing in the exact wrong environment and is going to get cut immediately. But this got released in the perfect environment, an environment that really needs it, and it's going to get to stick around for a little while. That's my take right now. That's what I think is going on there. Um yeah. Yeah, okay. Well, oh no. Um I'm seeing my internet do the thing where it it does overtime on the bitrate to kind of like catch up, to kind of recover the lost bitrate that it's been having for the past hour. Um, but it seems to have failed to do that. It's dipping back down into like bad numbers. Anyway, yeah, I it does look like I'm calling it now. Um, Sorry for the quality of the stream. Anyone that watched it live, the VOD will run much more smoothly. Um, So, people watching the VOD, I hope you enjoyed my kind of rundown uh of the series that are leaving and the series that are arriving. Yeah, I'll keep you guys updated. I'll probably be back in the summer, and whenever the next batch rolls around, I'll tell you how these three new series did, and I'll tell you what didn't do so hot, and what's leaving and what's not leaving and what's coming in. Yeah. And I'll see you Monday for more Kirby. Friday for Ludum Dare. Saturday for Ape Escape 2. Happy birthday to me. I'll uh I'll run the goodbye reel for a little while, so that um so that the stream doesn't end like halfway through me talking for you guys. Um, okay. See you guys next week. Bye.